So the Oscar for Best Actress is almost like a fait accompli because basically it's Demi Moore's to lose, even though there's somebody who has an outside shot in winning. So let's go through the nominees of Best Actress in a Motion Picture. Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here, Karla Sofía Gascón and Emilia Pérez, Demi Moore in The Substance, Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, and Mikey Madison in Anora. All right, so Fernanda Torres did a really good job in I'm Still Here, but she hasn't been winning any of the major awards, so I'm just going to X her out. Karla Sofía Gascón and Emilia Pérez, coming out of the Golden Globes, she won, and she became the front runner along with Demi Moore, who also won at the Golden Globes. So the race was going to come down to Karla versus Demi, even though Demi, I still think, would have beaten Karla. But Karla Sofía Gascón, they found those old racist tweets of hers, and you know what? I don't know why people post stuff like that, man. It's like, how angry can you be? Why would you post every racist thing that's on your mind? Oh, because it's in Spanish, no one's going to tell? It's like, oh my God. Now, to be fair, I've always posted fine. But I'm sure I posted some stupid things like from 10 years ago that, it's like, well, they should completely delete their Twitter. It's like, I think you kind of forget about things that you tweeted in the past, but still, if you know you had this mindset years ago, you might say, I'm actually up for something. I might start making more money and getting branding deals. Maybe I should just totally delete my Twitter and just start over so they don't find anything. You talk about fumbling the bag. She fumbled the bag hard. So when that controversy happened with her, it not only killed her, but it killed the film. Except for Zoe Saldana. She kept on winning, and she probably will win the Oscar. Demi Moore for The Substance. Demi Moore will probably win. Hollywood got this thing where they don't like giving awards to people who make money for them. It's happened to Tom Cruise, John Travolta, Eddie Murphy, Steve Martin, Jim Carrey. I could go on and on for people who've made tons of money for Hollywood, and for some odd reason, when they're up for Oscars, they don't give it to them. But I think because Demi has been gone for so long, it's just a comeback story for her. Her career is rebounded a lot. And plus, in the Oscars voting mind, they're thinking about Bruce Willis too. Bruce Willis, her ex-husband, now has dementia. And Demi, he got a wife and married and all that stuff. Demi is still part of his life, helping out. So I think that's in the back of the voters' minds when it comes to Demi Moore. Because she had won a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, there was Ghost, Disclosure, even G.I. Jane to some extent. Indecent Proposal. Oh, that was fantastic. Indecent Proposal was great. Go watch that film again. It's such a good movie. I mean, Robert Redford and Woody Harrelson and her. Fantastic. So it's not like Demi Moore was in a lot of films where she could have won an Oscar, because most of her films were just box office. And I don't think she was nominated that much. But just for her making money for Hollywood and just, being a star for forever, they probably will give it to Demi Moore. Cynthia Erivo, any other year she might have had a shot, but again, since Wicked Part 2 is coming out next year, she might have a shot of winning next year for Wicked Part 2. Which brings us to Mikey Madison. So every award in award season that Demi Moore didn't win, Mikey Madison won. Mikey Madison is almost like The Substance in a lot of ways. So The Substance is Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley, right? The younger version and the older version. Well, this is the same way. Mikey Madison plays a stripper in Anora, and Demi Moore, back in the day in 1996, played a stripper in Striptease. So it's almost like the real life version of Substance, just with all the grotesque stuff in it. So yeah, Mikey Madison, she's a pretty girl. She's very sweet. You see her in interviews, she's very soft spoken. But then when you see her in Anora, that Brooklyn accent is thick. I mean, she's from Los Angeles. She's born and raised in Los Angeles. Watching that film, you really thought she's this feisty gal from New York. So man, with Margaret Qualley and Mikey Madison, there's a lot of really good, talented younger actresses who has a chance of winning an Oscar down the road. So it looks pretty bright film-wise. But so unless Demi doesn't win, it'll probably go to Mikey Madison. We've seen crazier things before. Like Angela Bassett was supposed to win for Black Panther 2, but they gave it to Jamie Lee Curtis, which still sticks on, which still bugs Angela, as it should. Because I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but I mean, I wish they would have awards for horror movies or blockbuster movies, where she would have won one a long time ago. But for some reason they don't give awards to horror movies, which helps fund the industry, blockbusters, which help fund the industry. But, it is what it is. Glenn Close a few years ago, it was the same way. Glenn Close was winning all these awards for Hillbilly Elegy, and she comes and gets to the Oscars. She didn't win a thing. So it could happen to Demi Moore, where she's winning everything, and Mikey Madison ends up winning, even though Mikey Madison's performance is just as good as Demi Moore's. Mikey Madison's performance is just as good as anybody on this list. So it's not like it wasn't deserved. Any other year, Mikey Madison probably would have won. But, Demi, you gotta give that to Demi. So the interesting thing, one of the interesting stats that I've seen is about Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep has been nominated for 21 Oscars. Do you know how many she's actually won? So I'll get into that for a second. Now Meryl Streep has been around since 1978. And her first appearance in the film was The Deer Hunter, which came out in 1979. And it co-starred her then boyfriend, John Cazale. John Cazale played Fredo in The Godfather. John Cazale was in Dog's Day Afternoon with Al Pacino. Fantastic film. Go watch that. But in 1977, John Cazale was diagnosed with lung cancer. And he still filmed The Deer Hunter, but he passed away in 1978. And The Deer Hunter came out in 79. And she was younger. She was younger than Cazale, but she loved him. So, so Meryl Streep's been around forever. So she got 21 nominations, right? She's only won 3 times. 3 times. Can you imagine? It's Meryl Streep. Like, Meryl Streep's not just the greatest actress of her generation. She's like the greatest actress overall. And we're talking about, like, Katharine Hepburn and Audrey Hepburn, Elizabeth Taylor. like really talented ladies, man. And Meryl Streep is like the standard. And she's only got 3 Oscar wins, which is just ridiculous. They do this with the Oscars, man. They'll cap you out. Like, Tom Hanks still got 2. Denzel has 2. Al Pacino has 1. Can you believe Al Pacino has 1 Oscar? I can't remember. I think De Niro has 1 or 2. I still can't believe Denzel only has 2. Denzel clearly should have 4 Oscars by now. It's just insane how they vote. But yeah, Meryl Streep only has 3 Oscars. But there's so many actresses that doesn't have any. I love Amy Adams. Amy Adams don't have any Oscars. How ridiculous. Amy Adams doesn't have any. Angela Bassett doesn't have any. I mean, I love Halle Berry, man. I love Halle Berry to death. But every time I see that Halle Berry has one and Angela Bassett doesn't, it does something to me. It's like, I love them both. I love Halle Berry and I love Angela Bassett. But man, the fact that Halle Berry has one and Angela Bassett doesn't, it's just insane to me. But yeah, you just don't know how these people vote. There's a story now with Ralph Fiennes in the Best Actor category. There's 2 Oscar voters, allegedly. They didn't vote for Ralph Fiennes for Best Actor because they felt like he won before. They felt like he won for Schindler's List, but he didn't. No actors won for Schindler's List that year. The film won Best Picture and Best Director for Steven Spielberg, but Liam Neeson didn't win either. But I guess they thought he won. So instead, this year they voted for Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. So if you see Adrian Brody win, not to say he doesn't deserve it. I love Adrian Brody. Fantastic actor. Go watch Winning Time on HBO. Fantastic. But man, if you voted just because you thought Ralph Fiennes won before, and that's why you voted, that's ridiculous. There's a crazy montage of Meryl Streep because she won for Sophie's Choice, and then after that, they kept on showing her losing every year. It's crazy. It's sad to see because she's all dressed up and she showed up, and they voted for years. For years, she went through the 80s. Rest of the 80s, rest of the 90s. I don't think, was it the Iron Lady? I don't think she won again till like the 2012 or something like that. It's insane. So of this list of actresses who are currently contending, who do you think is the best actress? Most likely it's Demi Moore. Mikey Madison has a really good outside shot of winning. But do I got this wrong? Do you like Fernanda Torres better? Did you like Cynthia Erivo better? Tell me what you think.